There's this preconception that when you move here as a Western woman, you will have a harder time to find a partner. You have a Thai boyfriend. Can you share a bit more about that?
Thai men have a bad reputation in general. We hear a lot about how they cheat, how they're maybe lazy or something. I don't know. But I would say I still think there is a barrier with the fact that they're men. I can feel that it's hard for them to talk about their emotions more than in France. Wow, you look so ugly. Like people would pass you by and say like stupid remarks. Do not quit everything to move here. It's a bad idea.
Welcome, Chloe.
Hello.
Hi. I'm so excited to talk to you because I've been looking at your social media and I found your life and story to be very interesting. In particular, I think today we're going to talk about socializing in Thailand, life in Thailand, and relationship in Thailand. And I know that you've been living here, you know Thai. You are also dating your Thai boyfriend as well, which is quite unique because I think most of the times people would see this pairing that is a Western man and a Thai woman. So I think this is more of a rare pairing. So yeah, today we're gonna talk all about that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you chose Thailand, and why you stay here?
Okay, so yeah, my name is Chloe and I'm 31 years old and I've been living in Thailand for about 6 years, 5, 6 years. And basically I moved here when COVID started because I was like stuck in Thailand. So I've been stuck. I was happily stuck in Thailand. And that's when I really decided to, be based here. Before that, I had a few trips to Thailand. My first trip was in 2018. And the first time I came to Thailand was for modeling, because I used to be a model. I used to work as a model. And I was there on a modeling contract. But then eventually I really liked living in Bangkok. And, the more I went to Bangkok, the more I was like, oh, I can imagine my life here. And after COVID, I just made the decisions to, be settled here. Yeah.
What is it in Bangkok that drew you in, that made you feel like, oh, I wanted to stay here?
First was the people, because I found it very relaxing here, very chill. Like people made me feel welcome and how to say, I felt that vibe that is like just more relaxed here than in my country, and mostly because the people seem more relaxed and happy in general. And so that gave me such a good impression that I was like, okay, if the people are so happy here and look so chill, then I can also have this kind of life.
So what's your background before coming to Bangkok? Where would you call home? So when you compare, Bangkok to where you came before, where was it?
So I come from France. Um, I I lived in quite a big city named Lyon, but I'm actually not from that city. I'm from like a neighbor city that is more like how to say, the suburbs, you know. And that city wasn't that big. So I spent most of my childhood in the small city, and then I moved to the bigger city for my studies, like for high school and then university. So I lived like most of my teenage years until like 20 in France.
So now a big question.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we all know that you enjoy living here, but this is how do you call it? Attention grabbing?
Uh-huh.
No, how do you call it when you try to get people attention?
At-
And
Attention whore.
sorry. I couldn't think of the word at the moment, but this is like a that sort of questions like,
Mm.
is life better in Thailand than in the West, or in this case France, for you?
Yeah, quite a big question. Yeah. Personally, I would say yes. For me, my opinion, my life is better here. Does life in general is better? Is life in general better? I would say it's hard to say because there's good sides and bad sides. to both France and Thailand, right? But honestly, I feel like life in general is better, um, just for the main reason that the people are just friendlier, more chill, and this changed the whole experience for me.
So the emphasis is so much on the people.
You can live in a very rich country, you can have a great job, you can have a modern lifestyle with great public transport. Everything is affordable, everything is convenient. Let's say like I don't know, like maybe Japan. Um, but if you have a bad experience with people, like you feel stressed, threatened, you feel in danger for some reason, then your life is just shit, you know? You can be triggered by the people around you more than what you have or your job or your lifestyle, I think.
Mm, yes, yes. You mentioned danger.
Mm.
Does it imply that you feel safer here? Can you elaborate a bit more?
Yeah, I do feel safer here as a woman. I think maybe experience is different whether you're a man or a woman, right? In France, I can recall having really bad experiences with people. I was bullied when I was in school, but I think this is kind of universal. But anyways, I was bullied, and then I was bullied by both guys and girls, just FYI. And after that, in my teenage years, you know, I got sexual harassment. People steal my stuff in the public transports. My phone got stolen in Paris one day, like randomly during the day. And just many awkward or embarrassing interactions with people in the streets. Unsolicited interactions that makes me feel very uncomfortable because I just want to, you know, do what I want to do and not be interrupted by someone, you know. Whereas in Thailand, I almost never had a bad experience or a moment where someone would, you know, come up to me and be like, "Wow, you look so ugly." You know what I mean? This could happen in France. Like people would pass you by and say like stupid remarks, stupid critics while you walk, and you hear it, and you're like, "Did I hear what I hear?" You know? Like,
Ah, wow.
yeah.
What makes them do that, do you think?
Too much freedom. I don't know.
Too much freedom.
No, I don't know. Honestly, it's cultural. It's cultural, you know. But why are they just like openly mean? I think maybe it's actually the stress or the anger from their daily lives that's going out, and they have to blame someone or they have to let their anger out in some way. I feel like it's kind of like that,
Mm,
maybe.
mm, 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 mm. Yeah, I think that is something that I could feel as well when I'm in Thailand comparing to when I was traveling and living somewhere else. Um, I think in Thailand, you never really get random bad comments, really. Whereas when I was living in the UK or when I was traveling in Europe, from time to time, uh, it it didn't happen a lot, but you would hear people making weird remarks
Uh-huh.
like, "Oh, why are you dressing like that?" Or like Chino, like just random words. And you're like,
Mm.
well, I mean, you can just keep everything you think to yourself.
Mm.
I always find Thailand the opposite when it comes to negative remarks. I think it's actually people that are closer to you that sometimes make funny remarks like,
Yeah.
oh, you've gained weight.
And your family, for
So,
example, right?
yes, yes, yes. But also in a loving way. It's mean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they meant it, but I think the outcome, the result of it, it's still negative.
I feel like it's more appropriate that it's from your friends or family, right? Because they know you. I mean, they're
Mm,
supposed to know you.
true.
So it's a bit more
True.
appropriate rather than a complete stranger who assumes something about you or judge you like for no reason. You know, this
Mm,
is really like,
mm.
yeah, like random.
Yes, I think it calms your nervous system to know that you don't have to walk on the street and then face random remarks from people. I think especially if you are girls, I think a lot of my female friends living in the UK, like this happened more than 10 years ago. They said that when they walked in the street, then they would get, catcalling and random stuff.
Mm-mm.
And it's not good for the mind.
Yeah, because it makes you feel like, oh, you're only safe at home. So why are you gonna lock yourself in your room every day? Can you find a job where you work from home? Like there's so many things like that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to socializing, what has been the things that stand out to you here? Are there any things that you like or dislike or you find hard?
I feel like Thai people show their emotions less, and so you don't always know what they think. But not that bad, like not to the point that they behave like Japanese people, you know. Like I had experience with Japanese people. It was really hard to guess what they mean, you know, how they feel. For Thai people, they're still very expressive, but I would say it's hard to know if someone likes you or not because I know that there is a social norm, like say there's social norm that wants you to be nice and welcoming with everyone, kind of like respectful, be nice. So sometimes I don't know if that person is nice with me because they want to be my friend or it's just because they're, you know, doing like everyone. So, and then there's also the physical aspect. Like, for example, in France, I would say that even friends can hug each other or they greet with kisses, right? Like they greet you with a kiss or they hold hands, you know. And in Thailand, I haven't seen that much between like friends, like group of friends, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's not something that I miss. Like it's okay for me, but it's just something that I noticed.
Hmm. Um, for the Thai friends that you made, at which point could you convince them to be more physical? Or like have they ever become more physical with you when it comes to greetings and stuff?
Yeah, I think once you get to know them closely, then they're more physical and they're actually super warm, like super, you know, super nice, super friendly, actually. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I find it sometimes a bit difficult to deal with the situations where I have foreign friends and Thai friends all in one space because with my Thai friends we don't really greet by hugging or kissing. We would just like do this
Mm-hmm.
and I think when we hang out, maybe we touch each other like at the arms, to the shoulder, a lot of like small touching, but not hugging while greeting. But when you have your foreign friends and Thai friends at the same time, you're like, oh, I'm doing this one thing with this one person and doing another thing. And to me, it's like, I want things to be fair. And it's so awkward. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna hug everyone, or now I'm not gonna hug everyone. I don't know. Yeah, and I think other Thai people sometimes could also feel that too, like, oh, you are Thai, like, Swadika.
And then they could be jealous,
Yeah.
or could be like, oh, you like this person more, you hug them, you know?
I know. I know. I know. I know. I know. I always find that quite delicate. I think my go-to is always hugging everyone. Maybe like if hugging is the norm, then I would go for a hug.
That's cute.
But yeah, but then again, have you heard of this theory where like I don't even know if it's true, but there is this theory that there are fewer cases of COVID in Thailand because we don't greet by hugging or kissing. I don't know if this is true, like based
I
on
think it
stats.
makes sense, you know? It makes sense that it would be true because in France it's like you shake hands, you kiss on the cheeks, you don't know what you've done with your mouth before, you know? Like
Mm,
like it
mm,
can be
mm.
very, very bad, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think it's possible.
So earlier you mentioned that sometimes it's hard to tell when a Thai friend is close to you. How do you tell? Like for you, yourself.
How do I tell? Oh my God. Um, well, I think if let's say I meet someone and we get along, and then I would ask to hang out with them. If they accept the first time, it's already a good sign that they want to hang out with me as a friend. And if they accept the second time, it means that
Mhm.
there's a possibility of growing the friendship. And then there's something else. There's the way they talk about you to other people. Like, if, for
Oh.
example, someone says like, "Oh, this girl, she kept asking for you. Like, where is Chloe? What is she doing? Why she's not coming today to do this activity?" So if they're like curious about you or they ask about you, I feel like they like you.
Ah, how would you know that they were asking about you?
Um, okay, for example, I'm gonna give you a situation where my boyfriend, he's like working in some place, and in that place there's other people, other staff. And I know them because I sometimes go there with him. And so they know me. And there's maybe one day where one of the staff, like a girl, she was asking for me. She was like, "Oh, is Chloe not coming today? Like, how is she? Like, where is she? You know?" So I felt like maybe that's a sign that they want to see me more, that they want to be
Mm,
more my friends. You know,
mm.
maybe. What do you think?
I mean, to be fair, I think sometimes I find it hard with making new Thai friends outside of school as well, because I think most of the Thai friends that people have or I have comes from going to school together or doing a lot of activities together. The concept of meeting someone by chance in a networking event and then you text them to set up like coffee dates don't come that easily to most Thai people. I don't know why. And so like I think it's more like, in the West you have this individuality. So the concept of making friends are more like, oh, I want to make friends with you. I'm gonna get your contact. And then we're gonna meet up and sit down for coffee. In Thailand, if you notice this, sometimes people don't even introduce
Yeah.
themselves. Like you would hang out with your friends and then you would know someone new through your friend's introduction. And after like 3 months of doing high rocks together, and then you become
Right.
friends.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, and it's like what you said as well that I think people are quite pleasant,
Mm.
pleasant. Yeah, I think for me sometimes it's the same as like making friends with an American or an English person as well. I think there's certain ways that an American or English person is very pleasant, friendly, but it takes a while to know if they actually feel closer to you. Whereas I think making friends with people from certain other countries, I think France included, it's clearer.
Mm.
They seem to show it more if they, like you
I
extra.
think French people are
Um,
very straightforward. Maybe too much
okay.
sometimes. So yeah, yeah.
When it comes to you, okay, making friends as a Western woman, you think that there's anything difference in that? Like, is there any struggle, privilege, or I mean, I wouldn't know this.
Yeah, of course. As a woman, well, I think from what I've heard, most French women or like women from other countries, when they come here, they all kind of struggle to make friends, or even meet a guy. And I've seen a lot of things like, oh, I want to meet people, but I always meet like people from my own country or expats or immigrants or whatever, like me. And they find it really difficult to make friends with locals. And as a foreign woman, I would say I don't mind making friends with either foreign people or locals. It's a bit hard in general. But one thing I know is that it's easier to make male friends in my country than to make male friends here. because I always fear that because of the culture, the dating culture, I always feel like, oh, if I talk to a guy or something, it's like it's gonna be, how to say, like, how to say, some woman might think that I'm trying to flirt with the guy or something, or he's trying to flirt with me. So I always have this little, this thoughts like, okay, that guy, I shouldn't make him believe that I'm flirting with him. And I also shouldn't openly talk about this friendship because women might judge me about this. You know what I mean?
And why is it not like that in France?
I think in France, we're really more open and less traditional about friendships and relationships in general. It's like you can be friends with anyone you want, guy or girl, whatever. Like it's more open and yeah, we just don't really we judge less based on gender, I would say, for certain
Mhm,
things
mhm,
like
mhm,
relationships.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Yeah. And when you were talking about this, you also talk about this in the perspective of international people living in Thailand as well, right? Not just making Thai male
Yeah.
friends. Okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. When I was in France, I noticed that it's one of the few countries where if you go to the beach, then women can go topless without
Yeah.
people, you know. Yeah, and I think that's so freeing.
Mm.
And I think I have only seen that in France where it's not a nude beach. Anyway, maybe we have to cut this part
I
out.
mean, personally, it's like if it's not a nude beach, like why would you be naked? But anyways, it's just my thinking. It's not my problem. I wouldn't go to that person and say like, "What the fuck?" No, it's just their business.
Yes, yes.
It's their business.
Uh, what's it like making friends when you know Thai and before you know Thai? I mean, I don't know how long was the period before you become fluent in Thai.
Oh, I'm actually not really fluent. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm not really
so you
fluent.
can speak
I
Thai.
can speak Thai. I can understand basic things like when people talk with each other. I kind of get a few words. Like I can understand the context, what they're talking about, maybe. Except if they're talking in a very friendly way, and this I'm like lost. With all the boo and stuff,
Slangs.
I don't
Yeah.
listen. But if it's like a polite conversation, I would guess words and I would kind of understand the general meaning. Um, so I'm not fluent, and I feel like if I was really fluent, I would be able to understand people more. Because yeah, there is still a language barrier for me that blocks me from making friends, like from deepening the relationships, you know, from like making deeper connections.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Definitely.
mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. But can you see a difference now that you speak some Thai comparing to maybe the time at the beginning where you didn't speak Thai?
Oh yeah, yeah. Like every time I speak Thai, people would be so happy. Like their face would brighten up, and they would be like, "Oh, you speak
Mm.
Thai," and they're so friendly and so happy, and they feel more comfortable, and they praise me.
Ah.
They praise me like, "Oh, it's so good. You're so good," even though I'm not good. They would be like, "Oh, your Thai is great," and I'm like, "No, no, no." Yeah, so they're just so happy that I know.
Okay, okay. It's nice to hear that. And I think it means that that is also one of the tickets to make like more Thai friends as well, I suppose, the language.
Yeah, I feel like people just instantly like you more if you speak the language. I mean, I think it's probably true in every country. Um, but especially on social media, when you see
Mm-hmm,
influencers who
mm-hmm,
can speak
mm-hmm.
Thai perfectly, all the comments are like, "Wow, you're so good. You speak like a Thai person is great." They feel so happy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that about my own country that we praise people that speak even a little bit of Thai. I guess like it's not a big language. You don't need to learn it. So when people actually learn it, it's like, oh, okay, you make an effort, you know.
Ah, right.
Now that you see the importance of learning Thai, why don't you go and try our app out? Just go to speakeo.com, speekeo.com, and download the app to use for free. I actually have a funny story. A Thai friend of mine went to France, went to Toulouse
Toulouse.
to do his to do his PhD, and he spoke French at the time already. So the story was this. So he was assigned a supervisor for his PhD thesis, right? And he wrote her and her or him, I don't know, an email asking for some questions, and she never replied. And then one day they met at this dinner gathering function. So he approached her and asked her if she saw the email, and she said, "Yes, I saw it, but I will reply when you learn how to write better French." And I found it so funny, but I can't imagine what it's like to be him. I
Oh
found it so
no.
funny.
Oh, that's rude.
But this is I would say probably like 2010. I think people's behavior changed a lot now with social media and your smartphone. Like you can record everything. But I
I
think
mean,
like,
it doesn't. It's for me. It's rude. Like I would be pissed off. But then again, it's
yeah.
not something unusual. It's not something I haven't heard before. Really, maybe that person might be older and so a bit old school, with writing.
Right.
But I think you can still find people like criticizing you for like it's not even it's a mistake, but it's not it's comprehensible. Like it's understandable because he's not French. So you would say that the person has some empathy, and understand and make an effort to reply. But then that person seems like they either have no empathy or they're just having a bad day or something. I don't know. But you can still have this kind of interactions in France. I don't think it's something that has changed much, to be honest.
Do you think in the minds of the French person, could this be some sort of like banter or a
Could be
joke?
pride.
Pride.
Could be
Okay.
pride.
Okay.
We always say that people in Paris are a bit more snob. They're snobbish. They're like, oh, we are Parisians, so we're better than everyone. There is this feeling, when you go to Paris. But then if that person was from the south of France, like Toulouse, I don't know why they were like this. Maybe just having a bad day, honestly. Yeah.
Or maybe they just posted to work in Toulouse, but maybe they come from
Maybe they're Parisians.
Paris.
That would explain everything if they're from Paris.
Yeah.
They're just rude.
Okay, I hope no Parisian is watching right now.
Fine, no issue.
Okay. So you are dating a Thai guy. You have a Thai boyfriend. Um, can you share a bit more about that? Because, I think that there is this perception that most of the cross-cultural couples in Thailand or Southeast Asia are mostly Western men or like foreign men and local women. So this is a more like a rare instance. What what's it like? Such a broad question. What's it like? I will go deeper later.
What's it like? Well, for me, dating has always been okay here. So before my actual boyfriend, I was with another Thai man. So my ex is Thai, basically. So I have quite some experience. Um, but I've always had good experiences. Like, I mean, I feel like Thai men have a bad reputation in general. We hear a lot about how they cheat, how they're maybe lazy or something. I don't know. But
Mhm.
this has never been like obvious to me. I would say I did meet both. Like, I did meet friends of my ex, for example, or I won't say who, of course, but like some people that I met that have multiple relationships, and it could be a guy, but it could be also a girl. Not just like guys. So I was like, okay, fine. But then personally, I never had an experience with a man cheating on me in Thailand. So, and I also met a lot of very cute couples, like foreign
Mm,
women with Thai men. Some of them married already. And then also just Thai couples, like both Thai who are super cute, super in love, and they seem to be so happy together. And I don't think the guy would be cheating in that way because the couple looks so happy.
mm,
So
mm.
what do you think?
I mean, I don't know for real. I have some assumptions. Um, I mean, there is this preconception that when you move here as a Western
Yeah.
woman, you will have a harder time to find a partner
Mm.
and set up a families. And I don't know if that is true. I've known a couple of Western women, sometimes not even Western women, but like, foreign women and Thai men together. So I do notice that there are um, this type of setup as well. I think, if anything, I have this theory that I think most men would probably date anyone. Like, there is this theory that when it comes to straight men, like
Yes.
swiping on Tinder, like men swipe 80% and women swipe 5%. And I think because Thai women appear just more approachable.
Mm.
And, like, I think sometimes men can be a bit discouraged when they have to approach women that don't show the interest. So when you have people who smile and stuff, then somehow they gain more courage. And I think there also this stereotype, I don't know if it's against or for Thai women, that Thai women take care of their husbands well. And so I think there is that too for some men that would come here and look for that. I also think that maybe because of the fact that more straight men are willing to date
Mm.
anyone, it means that the outcome, so that there's more input. So therefore, there are more outcome. Whereas when you are a woman, like Western or Eastern, I think when you come here, you have to worry about your own safety. When you are dating someone with different culture, then you are more reluctant.
Right.
um, I think you can see that even among gay men as well, like the willingness to date people from different culture. And so I think when the input is less, then you don't see that much the output. I think there is also this dynamic where in general in dating, people would assume that men would be the one who approach,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So when it comes to um, Western women and Thai men, I think sometimes like the Western women might hope that a Thai man would approach, but you know that a lot of Thai men are still intimidated because maybe they are scared to speak English. So I think that's why they don't approach the Western women as much. So I suppose like my next question would be what is this dynamic? Like, do you think that when you are interested in Thai men, would you need to do a little bit more to encourage them to approach you?
Yeah. So to go back to your point about dynamics, um, especially like for Western men coming here, right? I feel like the white men expect Thai women to have traditional values, and so often they would generalize women, and they would say, okay, the women in my country, they're too difficult. And so they would think like Thai women are more traditional, so they'd be more open to having me as a husband, you know. And the husband would be the caregiver and make money, and the woman would be more like the traditional homey wife. And I think definitely a lot of men come to Thailand to find that, to find what they don't find in their home country. But I don't think it's always true. Um, I think it's possible that sometimes, you're just here as a tourist, and then suddenly you find a woman and she's so beautiful and you kind of like want to, you know, try to date her, and then this happens. I think it can be very genuine like that. Like you're just a tourist in Thailand and you meet a girl and she looks so cute and you spend a good time in a bar or something, and then eventually it grows to a relationship, why not? Um, but personally, as a white woman, I feel like yes, um, I I kind of always did the first step. I mean, in general, in all my relationships, in whoever I dated, I'm kind of always the proactive one. Because for me, it's like when I want something, I get it. Like I'm scared that that thing will go away. Like I'm scared to lose the opportunity, so I would try my best to get the opportunity. But it's really needed here in Thailand because, as you say, I think I don't know if Thai men feel not confident enough or it's just a language barrier or something, but definitely I think they won't approach you as easily as foreign men. Foreign men can be very straightforward. Like in France, honestly, every time I go back home, every 3, 4 days, some guy would try to talk to me, in flirt with me. It happens all the time, and it happens not just me, but to other women, I know. So in Thailand, this would never happen, first of all, but it's good. Like, I think it's positive. But at the same time, it makes it so hard to just talk with the Thai guy, because yeah, it's difficult. So I think if you're if you're a foreign woman here looking for a partner, you really have to make the first move, or at least show really your intentions. Be very obvious that you like that person. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so interesting, isn't it? Because like when you go back to France and you get approached every few days, whereas like in Thailand, I think if you are a white man, I think you get a lot of compliments on the street, like, oh, you're so handsome and stuff. Yeah. Yeah, whereas they don't get that back home. But I was gonna talk about like the culture of approach as well. Like I remember back in the days when I still went clubbing and stuff. This happened actually before 2010. I mean, I still do clubbing sometimes, but I would notice that when it comes to two Thai want to date one another. Let's say this is in a club, then um, let's say you are a guy, then you ask your guy friends or girlfriend to approach the person you're interested in and ask them for the phone number just so that you can call the person or send them the live message the next day. It's so not direct. And this wouldn't work at all with most Western women. I could see now like why you have to be so direct.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, for me, it's kind of cute. Like, oh, the person is too shy, or they want to send their friend because yeah. But then it's true that in France it would be a bit weird because you would be like your reaction would be like, oh, why don't they go to me directly? Like, why on they being straightforward? Are they hiding something? Like, you would find it sus. Whereas in Thailand, it's just like cute. Like, oh, yeah.
It's like, I like you, but I'm a bit เกรงใจ. I'm afraid that I would cause you discomfort. So I was just like, ask someone else to get your number. um, I mean, I wonder if this is related to how we have such low birth rate at the moment. I don't think it's correlated. Sometimes it's like, oh, maybe people should take more direct approach.
I mean, birth rate doesn't have to do with being in a relationship. Like, you
That's
just
true.
do things and not have a baby. So, you know.
That's true. That's true. That's true. Um, when it comes to communications, like I mean, I don't know about your boyfriend's background actually. Maybe he's more exposed, he's more international. But I think in general, when it comes to dating Thai men, do you find anything different when it comes to communications, any struggles or anything that you find really good?
Um, so I would say with my ex-boyfriend, it was sometimes challenging because his English was not that good. And actually, it's funny, but when we started dating, his English was really bad. So we almost did not communicate. We were using our Google Translate on the phone to talk to each other. So it was that bad. But anyways, we could still understand each other with gesture and simple words. And then eventually he made such an effort learning English for me. Like he wrote down every word I was saying when he didn't understand. Then he remembered, and then his English improved so much. So it was great.
Mm,
And eventually we could have normal conversations. But I would say they were not deep conversations.
mm,
So I don't know if that was so important in our relationship, in the dynamic. But for me, if I want to have a really strong relationship with someone, I need to go really deep. It means that we have to be able to speak to about really everything. And that means using difficult words, right? Like speaking about concepts, ideas, like nuances. So for that, you need to have a really rich vocabulary. And so I feel like my boyfriend now, he's very good because he, as you said, he had experience abroad. So he studied in the US, in Australia. And so because of that, his English is really solid. And I feel like there is absolutely no communication barrier. Apart from that, I still think there is a barrier with the fact that they're men. Like
mm.
as men, I can feel that it's hard for them to talk about their emotions more than in France. Like it's really, it could be a problem, I think, here for Western women. Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying that Thai men tend to have this problem of expressing emotions comparing to the Frenchmen.
It seems to be more of a struggle. I think it's definitely cultural because it's
Yeah.
not just men, right? Like both men and women don't really share that much. But for men, I think it's even stronger. They yeah, I think they, how to say, I don't know if it's masculinity or something. I'm not sure because I think a lot of Thai men also have this very soft side that would be more like a feminine kind of side that I find it very nice. But I don't know why they still have this emotional, restriction.
Mm, mm. What types of emotions in particular that they fail to express?
I would say anything that makes them sad or angry. More like sad on the sad side. Like being sad, being upset. Um, well, maybe it's a good thing because when I think about it on the other side, if you think about Frenchmen, maybe Frenchmen would uh it would be more obvious when they're upset or angry. They would just, say it loud, express it. Here it's more toned down. But I feel like it's maybe even difficult for them to express their when they're upset or when they're concerned about something. And sometimes I feel like, are they really truly always happy and always chill? I don't think it's possible. I think they're definitely controlling themselves not to look upset or to look sad in front of you. What do you think?
Yeah.
You're also a Thai
What
man.
do I think?
So
It's true. I think I think in general we are taught to be polite, be gentle and kind, and be respectful towards the environment. So there's this term in Thai, kala tesa, which means time and place. So, like in the West, you have this concept, maybe like in America, you have this concept of taking up space.
Yeah.
And I think in Thailand, the key concept is the opposite. We have know your place. So instead of making yourself big, you're making yourself small. Like on the Sky Train, BTS, for example, you try to not talk so that it doesn't disturb other people. And I think when it comes to being men in particular, not only you have to be considerate like that, but I think men has this thing when it comes to not looking strong enough. I don't know if you are familiar with the concept of like shame that this social researcher Brené Brown has discovered. So she discovered that a lot of women have this shame around not looking nice enough, like playing sports looking nice, cooking looking nice, hanging out with friends looking nice. Whereas men, the shame, the fear is around not looking strong enough, which I think is linked to masculinity. And I think that comes out to the fact that most men, not just in Thailand, I think we are afraid of showing our vulnerability, like more delicate emotions, sadness. So I think like the failure of showing sadness would show up when things are bottled up. And sometimes you see these Thai men having too much alcohol and they have this outburst. I mean, it doesn't happen that much, but sometimes you're like, oh wow, like this guy who looks so calm, but now it's Songkran and he has too many few beers. And then he's acting really weird and angry. It's like all of a sudden.
Yeah.
I still don't think that happens a lot, but you can see that it jumps from like not feeling anything at all to like, God, so angry. Like where does it come from?
Yeah, I witnessed that actually in some parties. Yeah, so I know what you mean. Yeah. But then, yeah, for me, it's like even like some of my Thai friends when they're upset or sad or something, they would joke about it. They would be like, "Oh yeah, I'm never gonna be rich. Or I'm never gonna get a girlfriend. It's okay. Like I don't need like oh it's it's fun. It's like they talk so lightly about it, but I know that deep inside it could be a real pain, but they just joke about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. For me, I would say, like, when it comes to like people that are my friends or strangers, I understand that you don't want to show your vulnerability. I understand that it's completely fine. But then when it comes to my partner, I feel like I, it's a bit weird. I find it like cute and not just cute, but like I feel like reassuring that my partner can be vulnerable. Because I think that if they can be vulnerable with me, then that's when I can really love them. Like that's when I can be here for them. And it really matters to me because I think the bond can grow stronger when you're both at your weakest or your worst uh, self, like it can really grow. And yeah, I think it's important for me to know that my partner is a human being with feelings, you know, like that they also get
Yes.
through hardships. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I think I see what you mean. I think when it comes to attraction, sometimes you could be attracted by the confidence, the exterior and stuff. But when it comes to connection, I think people often connect when we show a little bit of a weakness, almost like vulnerability. And you realize like, oh, this is a human being and not AI. It's like always the flaws, like the cute flaws, sometimes draw people in and make you connect with them. Friends as well, I think. Yeah, I won't want to be friends with someone who is like strong and perfect all the time. It would feel robotic. Yeah. So now that we talked about, making friends, relationships, and dating in Thailand, I don't know if you've seen this news, this stats that shows that 83% of Thai people answer this questionnaire saying that they are lonely, which is quite shocking. I think this is also based in like a questionnaire in Bangkok. So that is really high and unexpected because you see people smiling here a lot. Do you have that impression when it comes to like loneliness here or any mental health epidemic in Thailand?
Actually, I'm very
Or Or is it related to what we said earlier that people don't want to show their vulnerability and conceal it? Like they might have problems inside, but not sharing with other people.
Actually, I'm very surprised by this number. Like it's very high. It's a bit scary. Um, I didn't really notice, honestly, this issue in Thailand. Like it's not very obvious. Um, because again, it's feelings, right? So it's not super obvious. Like I see a lot of kids or teenagers hanging out together with friends. It's kind of rare to see like a person that's like alone in a restaurant, I would say, compared to like Japan, for example. So it's not obvious, but at the same time, I kind of understand. Yeah, I think you're right, saying that it could be the fact that they don't want to be vulnerable, and maybe at the first problem or the first obstacle, they would be like, okay, I run away from this relationship. Like they could be like, oh, we we're getting too close, or it's too deep, or I don't want to reveal this about me, or maybe I don't want them to come to my house because I am not that rich. You know what I mean? Could be things like that that make them like reject you. Like, no, now we have to stop, and then the relationship just ends. Because if you don't keep meeting your friends again and again, and as I said, I think if you don't go deeper, the friendship will just like die eventually. So
Mm,
maybe that's one of the reason. Yeah, they want to like they don't want to reveal certain things. Maybe.
yeah. Yeah, I think not revealing things in the long run makes you unable to connect deeper friendship.
Mm.
Like, the next level of friendship where you feel connected to someone from the heart, which I think most people think that it's not important, but you could see that a lot of expats move here and they were fine at the beginning, but after 5 or 10 years, they feel really lonely because they couldn't find someone that connect in that level. So my suspicion is that I think because of the social hierarchy and all of the rules and etiquette in Thailand, sometimes it's hard to make friends outside of school or a workplace.
Mm.
And now that people get married less as well, so there are more single people, not making new friends. And so I think that's why they become lonelier. But I think there's also another theory. I think it's our attachment, it's our interpretation towards the word lonely. The word lonely in Thai is ngao.
Mm.
And I think it seems less taboo. It seems less of a taboo in Thai to tell people somehow that you are ngao. Like even on the dating profiles, sometimes people say things like, "Oh, ngao chung bơi," like I'm so lonely. And I think in the West, to tell people that you are lonely, it's kind of uncool. And in Thailand, when you see that a lot of people would just say it, like I feel like a lot of Thai people interpret the word ngao, lonely, as just being alone
Mm.
and not
Mm.
hang out with someone. So I wonder if the people that answer this questionnaire interpret this question like that, like, are you alone rather than are you lonely?
Yeah, because for me, there's a big difference. Like, if you say you're just alone or single or you don't have friends, even saying I don't have friends, it's like, okay, you don't have friends now, but you can still make friends later, right? But if you say you're lonely, it's kind of like, for me, if I say I'm lonely, it's like a deep loneliness that's like almost like hurting. For me, lonely is like,
Yes.
it's more like I'm misunderstood. I'm
Mm.
lonely. I cannot find anyone who connects with me, and that would be like a real problem, like a real pain, right? Maybe yeah, we'll need to talk to a therapist or something. Like, so if you say you're lonely, for me, it's sad. Yeah, it's bad. It's sad.
Yes. 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 I think it's more pathological. Um, yeah.
Mm.
Speaking of which, I've seen on your social media that you are also dealing with anxiety. If we can talk about
Yeah.
it. Um, how, I guess like, uh, my question is that like, what is it like to have the anxiety in Thailand? And is it actually better or worse in some way than having dealing with anxiety in France?
Mm, um, so I think back in France, it's not very difficult to talk about your problems. Like if you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you have some addiction or whatever, people are very open about it. Like it's not it's not a good thing, of course, but they're not like they don't feel shame. They just feel like, oh, it's my problem and I'm dealing with this. And here I would feel like not misunderstood, but I would be a bit scared of talking about it openly, because I don't think many people talk about it. I think in Thailand, what I see, for example, on social media, is people talking about um, social issues, um, mm, I don't know, beauty standards, uh, money, like things like that. But they don't really talk about mental health or things that are happening inside of you. Um, so yeah, for me, it's like I'm also a person who always deal with problems on my own. So it's bad because I'm like don't do I'm like I say this, but I do the opposite, you know. But I'm someone who always uh fights my own demons alone. So even if I don't speak about it here, it's not just because I don't want to, but because it's how I am. I deal with it alone. That's how I am. But thankfully, I found a therapist here. So it is possible to, find help here. It is possible to talk to a therapist. It was a bit difficult for me to find one that speaks English and that is not like super expensive. I guess still affordable. But I've heard that in general, if you want to consult a doctor here for mental health, it's a bit tricky. And people don't really do that because they know it's not going to help. Is it true?
It it is. I think the awareness of mental health is still new, although it's like up and coming. I remember that there was time when I felt a bit like down and low. So I wanted to talk to someone to see if I had depression actually. So I went to the hospital because it's, cheap and stuff. So I went and then there was this long queue. So when it's my turn, I went in. We talked 5 minutes, really 5 minutes, and then I was prescribed antidepressants. I mean, I'm grateful that there's a system,
Yeah.
for people at least, but I do think that that was too fast to prescribe someone such strong pills. And I think later on when I got to talk more with therapists, we realized that actually these problems isn't depression, but there were actually like some factors that made me feel down and low. But in seeking my own private help, it's much more expensive. Like I can tell you, for example, that one of the cheaper session was 1,800 baht per hour.
Oh, yeah, that's high.
Yes, yes, yes. I think there are places that are cheaper. I think the price starts around 900 or 1,000 baht or something. Um, yeah, but I think the price in general, comparing to what Thai people on average could afford, is quite high. Yeah. But then if they go to the hospital, then they get antidepressants. I mean, for free, but still, like, it's not the best way to solve the problems. I mean, I feel for the hospitals as well. They have like so many people lining up. Yeah, yeah. So that is the thing. Maybe this is more a private question, but when it comes to your anxiety, like I don't know it so much, but there are things that induce anxiety, right? What's it like to be living here when it comes to anxiety? Is there things that helps you with it, or are there things that actually makes it worse? I guess comparing to where you were before.
I think it's definitely helping me to live here. Because I used to have really bad anxiety in France. Like it would be so bad that just a single interaction with someone could make me cry, even though it's a very small interaction. Like it can be mean or negative, but I would be like, oh, it's enough, and I would just burst into tears because it's like I'm so tired of this, you know. So and this and the fact that I would hang out with negative people. Um, I would say at university and everything was fine, but when I was younger, like a teenager, I had a group of friends, and maybe they were like four people, and 3 out of 4 of these friends they would be so negative and complaining all the time, like typical French,
Mm.
complaining all the time. But that would make me feel so bad because maybe I have some high empathy or something. I'm not sure, but I would feel it in my body, like this negative energy. And that would add up to my stress because it's like I already have my things to deal with. Now I have to deal with someone else's stress. And maybe it's just my sensitivity was too high or something, but it was very hard for me in France. And I felt like when I moved to Thailand and now that I live in Thailand many years, at least I don't have that stress. You know, that stress from outside people is gone. And now I only have to deal with my inner demons or whatever, with my past, maybe, whatever, you know? So now there's honestly not so many things that make my life stressful. Um, I think I have a better lifestyle in general because I can afford more things here. I can have a better lifestyle than I have in France because I'm just more wealthy here compared to a French person in France, right? This makes, of course, a whole difference. Um, what was that?
Your cat.
But then, um, yeah, I think in general, I feel like my anxiety comes from within me and how I see things. It's definitely not from the outside or the exterior or the environment. You know what I mean? And this makes a big
Mm.
difference on how I go through this. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for sharing, Chloe. Is there any more things that you want to talk about when it comes to mental health?
Um, yeah, I just want to like say if there's Thai people watching this video, which I hope, I just want to say that mental health is very important and that a lot of symptoms you can get, like sickness, pain, fog, whatever things you can experience physically, sometimes they're a manifestation of your mental health. And so, you know, never be afraid of exploring this this field. And if you need to talk to someone, if you don't want to go to a therapist because it's weird, try to talk to a friend or something, you know, like talking really helps. Or writing journals, it really helps me a lot. So there's little things you can learn from, you know, online advices as well to care about your mental health because it's very important. Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree. So we're going to wrap up soon, but I still have a few more questions before we wrap up. Let's say there's someone watching right now, let's say a woman or a man who is thinking of moving to Thailand or Bangkok. What would be your recommendations when it comes to living a healthy, happy life in Thailand? Like any tips?
Okay, first of all, do not quit everything to move here. It's a bad idea. Because like we always hear about people, you know, coming to Thailand, it's like, oh, it's cheap, it's easy. Da, da, da. It's first of all, Bangkok is not cheap. It's not cheap. And it's not so easy to just move, pack everything and come here, okay? It might seem easy on social media, but it's not. But then honestly, to be happy, I think first of all, you have to try to integrate, you know, try to fit in, observe the people, see how they behave, and like learn from them, you know, how to fit in Thai society. And then people, if they see that you're trying to fit in and you respect the culture, they will instantly like you. So that's a way to be happier. And then I would say just maybe don't take things for granted, you know. It might seem like a very perfect country, beautiful, the beach, the sun all year, everything is bye, you know. But it doesn't mean it's like it doesn't mean it's free. You know what I mean? It's like you receive what you give, so don't take everything for granted and just be nice in return and be generous and accepting and you will enjoy it even more, I think. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, I like that. I think this is like the motto for me this week. Like, don't take things for granted. I feel like sometimes we even treat people that are nice to us worse because we take them for granted in general, right? Where can we find you and follow you?
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is Shikorita. On Twitch, I play games if you like games. On Fridays and Sundays each week. I have a Facebook page and I have a TikTok. The handle is Shikoritok. I also have a YouTube channel, but it's not that big right now. But you can check it out by searching Chikorita in the YouTube search bar. Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna put everything on the screen so you can see them. Oh, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
This has been a wonderful talk. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
me
feel like I
too. It
learned
was
so much, and
a lot.
it's so much fun as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, and maybe we see each other in future episode.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, thank you, Chloe.
Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you so much for watching that episode. Let me know what you think about it with this new format of podcasting. I will make sure that I would also keep my old style. But if you like this podcast style as well, then just let me know so I'll add them more into the future episodes. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week or weekend. ขอบคุณมากครับ Thank you.